Is Cyberpunk the game first person shooter?
So it is first person.
I don't want to
It's
play
not. It's not a first person shooter.
We go.
It's not a first person
I'm playing
shooter.
it. I'm watching the
Can
anime,
be.
but we're not playing that.
It's third person driving though.
I'm
Yeah.
no driver.
When you're driving, it's
Like
third
Need for
person.
Speed if I want third person driving, bro. What the hell?
So stay in school, kids.
Definitely
Read plenty
stay
of
cool.
books. All right,
And if
don't
your
listen
mom
to
and your
these
dad
these
or
clowns.
your
Don't
family
listen to
members
them.
are from another country, do not tell them to not move to another country, bro.
I never
Stay here.
Stay in school and read. Reading is good and fundamental. You should learn how to read. I'm saying you. I prefer the first edition of where they were like, I don't give a damn.
The first edition.
This is the reason why I don't like having these conversations without Shawnee, because he be bagging me up.
For people that don't know, the game takes place in what it sounds like Cyberpunk, which is that, you know, futuristic neon Blade Runner style, you know, type of art style that a lot of people are known for nowadays. A lot of people like it, some people don't. Macky. But the whole idea around the show is there are these people that are I forget what they're called, not like outlaws. I forget what they're actually called.
They're cyberpunks.
Okay, they're literally called cyberpunk. So they go around doing like jobs for people, their different crews and things like that, and they get different alterations to their bodies and things like that. So if you're watching the show, you'll see like people have different abilities, different like gun attachments to them, different metal attached to them and things like that. And there's this concept called cyber psychosis, where if you get too much of this chrome and things like that put onto your body, it'll actually like take over your brain and you kind of go crazy, you just start killing people and everything like that. And that's where the show kind of opens up. So
What's going on? It's your boy Macky. Oh, welcome to another nerdy thought video. I'm here with my good brothers. We got the razor sharp assassin with the clipper and Johnny B. We also got the Hook Kage, the Black Kage, aka Salt and Pepper Poppy Chris. Bing!
he said, "Oh."
And we have
Kind of crazy.
King himself, Musa. Welcome to another episode of Nerdy Thoughts. Thinking about some nerdy stuff. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. You feel me? Let us know in the comments and like, notification, everything. Do that. So today we're talking about Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Yes, I know. This came out 2022. And yes, I know. I have not watched this anime. But thankfully we have two people in here that have watched it. Just to kind of give people some context, I'm not going to read a synopsis, but this anime was directed by
Me.
Studio Trigger.
Studio Trigger. And they've
Same
done
studio that did Kill la Kill.
They did Kill la Kill, correct?
And Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann, correct?
Romare.
Correct. And they've also done an episode on Star Wars Visions.
They did.
The twins.
They did.
And they've done other stuff too, but this is again not one of the bigger anime studios, but they've done some
Big
quality work.
Yeah, no, they're definitely a quality studio.
Yeah, quality work for sure. I liked Kill la Kill a lot, and that episode of Star Wars Visions was.
Why'd you like Kill la Kill so much?
Oh, you know why he liked Kill la Kill so much.
Anyway, Cyberpunk Edgerunners. So, from the people who actually watched this, let us know what it's about. Please speak up.
Cyberpunk.
I want to say, John, you've seen it more recently, right?
Yeah, just a few days ago I finished it.
All right, so I kind of want you to start just because I don't remember every single thing. I mean, I could start. Kind
Well,
of. Also,
when did you watch
when it
Edgerunners?
like the day it came out.
So as soon as it came, do you remember the marketing campaign for that? Like, did they market Edgerunners a lot before it came out, or it just came out and then everybody was talking about it?
I don't remember a ton of marketing. So what a lot of people were when it came out, if people don't know, there's a video game to it, right? That John has in his hands, I believe, right?
Yeah, right
Yeah,
there, Cyberpunk
this
2077.
this game was announced. I don't know when it was officially announced. I know that one of the trailers was like 2013, I believe. So it
Yeah,
took
it
a
was an idea
long
for a
time.
while.
It was a long time from what's it, CD Project Red, who makes the Witcher series. And when it came out in 2020, it was like a broken mess, and a lot of people was getting refunded. They were selling the game for like $1 or whatever. So 2 years after that, the anime came out. I don't remember the marketing cycle around it. I just remember it started picking up probably a lot more organically. And a lot of people wanted the game to be really good. So when they watched the anime, the Steam numbers jumped up drastically for this game. Like they started making a profit after selling the game for like $10 or whatever they were selling it for like a year or so.
Mhm.
Um, so the game there, what do you say? Oh,
Sure.
the show does have some characters that actually do pop up in the game. Spoiler alert for either one of those, I guess, kind of sort of. I don't have to say which exact characters, but for people that don't know, the game takes place in what it sounds like cyberpunk, which is that futuristic neon Blade Runner style,
Mhm.
type of art style that a lot of people are known for nowadays. A lot of people like it, some people don't. Macky. Um, but the whole idea around the show is there are these people that are I forget what they're called, not like outlaws. I forget what they're actually called, but they're like
They're cyberpunks.
okay, they're literally called cyberpunk. So they go around doing like jobs for people, their different crews and things like that, and they get different alterations to their bodies and things like that. So if you're watching the show, you'll see like people have different abilities, different like gun attachments to them, different metal attached to them, and things like that. And there's this concept called cyber psychosis where if you get too much of this chrome and things like that put onto your body, it'll actually like take over your brain and you kind of go crazy, you just start killing people and everything like that. And that's where the show kind of opens up. So the anime done, like we said, by Studio Trigger, who does really good animation. I like a lot of their work. I haven't seen everything they've done.
Mhm.
I still haven't seen Kill la Kill, but I saw Promare. I saw what else did I see that they did? I don't even remember. Seen a few things they've done, but the show pretty much follows David Martinez, who's a high school kid who goes through some stuff that happens early on. Don't want to spoil it. And then he starts running with a crew and, slowly start using his unique abilities to make his way up in the world. You start getting, notoriety on the streets, start getting new jobs and different things like that, working for some of the big, you know, evil companies, I guess, if you want to call it that, the dark underworld and things like that. So it's a really cool concept and story and just the world. And it again, it made me go back to the game because I had the Series X when it came out, so I
Mhm.
didn't notice all the issues on it, but there were still some type of issues. And I was just like, I'll get back to this at some point. And I did, and I really liked it. I still want to play the Phantom Liberty
The
DLC that
DLC.
came out last year. I didn't get to it yet, but eventually I will. And yeah, as of right now, it's a standalone story, but I hope they said they want to do. I think they announced a couple weeks ago they're going to do some more projects in this world.
I heard
They
that
have
too.
books, they have graphic novels, they have like we said, they're trying to work on more anime and things like that. So the cyberpunk world is expanding. So
Yeah, so it's really unfortunate that CD Project Red kind of fumbled the ball when they were putting this project together. Cyberpunk like Musa was saying earlier, something that was announced really, really early. But even though it was announced like over a decade ago, they didn't start working on the game till like 3 years before it came out. And realistically, you can't build a game that big in 3 years. It may not have been 3 years exactly, but it was just a few years before the game actually came out. And you need a decent amount of development time. You need maybe like 6 or 7 years to really work on something in depth, to have it running properly and worth the time. But they had a really great idea. The world for Cyberpunk is very, very rich. Like whoever was writing all of this material and putting together the lore for this really went ham and did an amazing job. And the video game as well as the anime takes place in this giant mega city called Night City. And Night City is basically the remnants of like the old world. All of the governments of the world at some point, I guess, kind of collapse, and we're in a new era where it's not government ran, everything's gone private. So they've privatized everything. So these large tech corporations not only make products and weapons for, like armies and things like that, but just casual everyday consumers as well. Since this is in the future, people can augment their bodies with different pieces of cyberware. You can improve, your eyesight. You could change your limbs. You can change out your lungs. You can change out whatever you want that's going to give you some type of enhancement, some type of edge over other people. There's a lot of like augmented reality and virtual reality stuff that they do, and a lot of people just have straight up like fucking USB ports in their freaking necks and shit. So there's yeah, I know, there's there's a lot of freaky things that you can do with the
Brain
concept
dances, I believe they're called the
Brain
dances,
Mm-hmm.
and the joy toys or the toy something.
Question: You guys watched the anime and played the game, right? Both of you.
I played
Yeah.
some of the game, but yeah, I've watched the anime.
I know you guys watched the anime. Can you do everything that happens in the anime in the game? Like when it
Pretty
comes to
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can update your. I mean, it's way more in depth in the game because obviously, like the functionality of the upgrades you're doing to yourself have more like specificities to it. Like John mentioned, like the lungs. Like if maybe you can sprint longer, or maybe you hold your breath as you're sniping, or like there's different abilities when you're hacking into stuff. Like it's pretty on par, I'd say.
Yeah. There's
You don't
some
like
things. I'm
you
sorry.
don't like grow super big and all that stuff like they have in the game. I mean, in the show, it's like some of the dudes look like they got on steroids and just like their backs are bigger and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah. It's something where they wanted to bring a lot of the game stuff into the anime to make it look like something these characters would do regularly, like not getting your cybernetics installed by like a professional, like going to some back alley doctor that'll drug you the fuck up and be like, all right, here's your cannon arm now, don't tell nobody where you got it. Like,
right, yeah.
like, and the main character, he's got some plot armor going on in the story, and he can do things with his cybernetics that most people should not be able to do, because
it wouldn't survive.
Yeah, having so much cybernetics attached to your organic body, it's just unnatural, and your body will eventually start to reject it, and you could just lose your freaking mind.
Is Cyberpunk the game first person shooter?
So it is first person. It's not a first person shooter.
We go.
It's not a first person shooter.
I'm watching the anime, but we're not playing that.
It's third person driving though.
I'm no driving.
When you're driving, it's third person.
Need for Speed if I want third person driving, bro. What the hell?
So it is first person, and it is weird that they went first person because when they did The Witcher was third person and it was perfect. So this should have been a third person game, but they made it a first person
If
game,
I
and
mean cybernetics,
they kind of
that's
made it a first person game so that they could develop it faster because you can develop faster when you don't have to animate the actual damn character all the time.
you
Um,
announced it in 2013. Take your time, but no, you wanted to be cool and stuff.
No, they started the project too late, and then they forced everyone to crunch, and then as an apology to fans, like that DLC that Musa brought up, the Phantom Liberty DLC, that's free. They didn't charge anybody for that DLC. They just said, "Don't worry, y'all gonna get it."
I'm not playing.
which is cool. The lore and the world that they created for the game is so good and so rich that they were able to come up with an anime, and now we're hearing that they're coming up with other pieces of media to go with it. And I think you would definitely enjoy the anime for the story that it tells and how out there the world kind of is. And it's got some pretty crazy ass moments in it. Like some
I'm
there's
def-
definitely some wow moments in
I'm
there.
definitely gonna watch the anime.
It's very violent too. I mean, I
Yes.
don't think anyone here is a like violence averse, but it's
There's
limbs flying around and
there's definitely like sex scenes in the anime also. So, for anybody watching or even for you, Crispin, if you have any small children in the house, make sure they're asleep when you're watching this anime, I guess.
I watch it on my phone.
Or that, watch it privately, but just don't be surprised if,
Some titties.
some titties flash out of nowhere. You're like, oh,
Well,
okay.
I saw that Giancarlo Esposito's in this.
yes.
That he's
all
in
I'm
it.
saying
Who's
is,
he play?
if they're doing another Cyberpunk game, make it
Right.
third person, and then you could click to first person.
Yeah, I would
Make
have
it switchable.
appreciated that in this game.
Make it switchable because I do not want to see a gun.
So was Giancarlo Esposito an English dub actor? Because I saw this in Japanese, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, I watched the
I-
dub. I was gonna ask you about that for during the other video too. Like, if it's technically American or English, well, CD Project where Red's like Russian or something, Ukrainian or something, Polish, one of those guys.
One of those.
Shout out to her. Shout out to the European
one of those
brothers.
shades of white.
Yeah, I didn't want to say
one of them countries.
that. Somewhere over there. But do y'all watch those properties in Japanese? If it's
Bless
or-
sin barrera.
Yeah, to answer your question, I'm watching it in English. There is not too many anime that I watch in Japanese. The only
One
one
Piece.
It's One Piece.
That's the only
That's
one.
it.
so for people that watch sub, like, do you watch American? I don't even call it American anime, but like anime based on like English speaking IP. Do you watch it in Japanese or no? Because you watch Terminator in Japanese.
I did. I tend to watch whatever I'm watching in its original language, regardless of what that language is. So, like, I mean, I watch a lot of anime, so
The
it's usually
Japanese
just
studio
Japanese.
made it. I'm pretty sure the Japanese dub is the first one that comes out.
Yeah, so like a lot of these are animated by Japanese studios, and
Right.
they have Japanese voice actors, and then these projects get dubbed in English and then distributed in different regions.
The dub's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie though.
I don't believe that it's bad. I just prefer
Prefer
to
the sub.
watch anime in Japanese. I just feel like if I'm gonna watch the show, I want to watch the show, and if I like it that much, then I can go back and rewatch it in English because I've gotten the story, I've gotten what I wanted out of it, and if I just want to enjoy it a second time, not having to read the subtitles on a second viewing isn't bad. But I read fast anyway, so like
I don't.
subtitles are.
That's not why.
I watch everything with captions.
That's one of
I
the
watch
reasons
everything with
rewatched.
captions.
I'm gonna tell you, the first time I rewatched it because they dubbed it. I was like, oh, dubbed. Let's go.
You see how Mac gets like offended because I'm talking about my reading preferences.
I can't read that fast, bro.
He's like,
He said, actually, I.
I read. that's
I'm a good reader. Get out of here, bro.
Oh, damn. I get it. It's okay. Stay in school, kids.
Definitely
Read
stay
plenty of
cool.
books. All
And
right.
if
Don't
your
listen
mom
to
and your
these
dad
these
or
clowns.
your
Don't
family
listen to
members
them.
are from another
I
country, do not tell them to not move to another country, bro.
never
Stay here.
stay in school and read. Reading is good and fundamental. You should learn how to read. I'm saying you. I prefer the first edition of where they were like. I don't give a damn.
The first
Look,
edition.
this is the reason why I don't like having these conversations without Shawnee, because he be bagging me up. Shawnee understands.
Sorry.
He gets it.
Sonny's another one of you. That's why.
Dead ass.
Shawnee understands.
He's
Look. You guys
he's an
have each other.
elitist. Shawnee's an
Yeah,
elitist.
both
Shawnee's
of them are.
worse.
The
Because
Shawnee
Shawnee,
is way worse.
oh my god, Shawnee's worse.
Let's not talk about Shawnee, bro. He is way worse.
Yeah.
This is
he's
this.
he's like one step above where I'm at.
No,
man.
he's like 10, bro. He's wilding. He's
Maybe like five.
wilding, bro.
Like five.
He be wilding.
Yeah. I just thought it was a interesting question because a lot of these shows are now or games that we're used to playing in English are now they're getting anime for like Devil May Cry. I'm not watching that in Japanese, especially because it's Dante. Like he's known for his slick talk and stuff like that. Like I'm not gonna watch that in Japanese, personally. You know, or
Well,
even like Castlevania. I didn't watch in
dumb question.
Japanese.
Here comes a dumb question.
No question is dumb, Crispin.
When I say dumb
Um,
question, it's really not a dumb question. I'm just gonna say it anyway. But what do you guys think about just making anime of video games, like in general?
I personally like any different form. So if it's done well, if anything's done well, I'm all for it. Whether it's an anime, whether it's a book, whether it's a I don't know a tea party set, I don't care as long as it's done well.
My man said
I'm
a
with it.
I'm
I
done.
don't know. I was just thinking of merch that you could buy, but yeah, I'm with it. Especially nowadays when you talk about video games and like what John was saying earlier, like games take so damn long to make. Like they're talking about Cyberpunk, whatever they're going to call it, 2078, I guess, or something like 3077. It's like we might not see that till like the end of the next generation of consoles. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they're working on like Witcher 4, a reboot of the original Witcher, and then Cyberpunk will come after that. And these games take 7 years or however long. So I like that you can enjoy other mediums than just replaying the game over and over again. Like there's other ways, to hold you off and give you that fix until, whatever else comes
I'm
out.
just
Because they had the game in 2020, the show 2022, DLC 2023. They're thinking of another show that might come out, who knows, maybe 2026 and then maybe 2020, I don't know, 8 or 30. We'll get another show. I don't know.
Yeah. So
I'm asking because now, like new anime. First of all, new anime is hella fast, like OD fast, and I don't see like new mangas like really coming out like that. I mean, obviously in Japan, they probably see it more often because
Yeah.
they get like the Shonen Jump
Weekly.
weekly, like at the freaking 7-Eleven or something. Like you can just go pick it up and just read it. But is it weird that it's happening like that? Because we literally saw, like, we talked about the Terminator, that's about movies, and then we got the Cyberpunk, that's about the video game, and it's just like they're rebooting hella old anime, like just reanimating it to like a look better, like of the time. But then they're not throwing all the episodes at once; they're given to you week by week, right? And then we got the Dragon Ball Z, Danma, whatever, Dragon Ball Danma, whatever the name
Daima.
is. That. And it's just like,
You're forgetting a couple other ones. They got the Suicide Squad, Isekai. They got another Batman Ninja. That's also an anime.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw that. That one
So,
looks hard.
so
it's a whole bunch of like stuff that is coming out that is not manga related. And do you guys think it's just about mangas being slow or stuff?
So to answer your original question, I feel like adapting video games into anime is definitely a great route to take for storytelling. We're all experienced here in how well stories can be told in anime format, especially if you give it enough time to tell its story, aka One Piece. But if you care and you flesh out the story and the animation is good, and your character development is good, even if you're doing a modern one season of 10, 11 episodes, like you're going to share a story that a lot of people would not have enjoyed or appreciated otherwise. Like Cyberpunk 2077 is a first person style video game that obviously Crispin is not interested in playing because he's not really, down for the first person experiences. So since he's not going to play the game, he can still enjoy the world that they created for this by enjoying the anime or maybe a comic book that comes out or something like that in the future. And more people can become fans of the material and maybe either buy into the merchandise or buy into the video games in the future. Like if Crispin's mind changes and he sees something online and he's like, oh, I've really enjoyed the anime and I kind of just want to see what the game looks like, he can make that decision. Now, Crispin, I'm not saying you will. I'm just saying someone like you can make that
No facts,
choice
facts.
after being exposed to a medium that they really connect with. And these kinds of stories like Cyberpunk are definitely rich enough to tell you a long story like an anime. Yes, Mac.
No, just to go in the opposite direction of where you went.
Wait,
Um,
before you go there, I just want to stay with him, and I just want to ask him another question. I know you're gonna go last. I just want to ask him one more question. Should the story be the exact same story of the game, or a continuation of the game, or something different from the game?
No, I believe in either adding to the story or doing something totally different. It just depends on the game because some games don't work if you want to tell the story beat for beat. Like some games have a lot of story that's just filler,
Okay, cool.
so like it has to be
And like John said,
gotta
with
be good.
Night City being like this big over expand, and even outside of Night City, it's just huge. Like Edgerunners mostly takes place in Night City, but
Yeah.
like they can coexist without the stories mattering because the regular cyberpunk story is very centric to the person in each, like it's each person's experience with Night City. Like they said Night City is the character essentially,
Okay,
like and how each character interacts with it. So yeah, it takes place technically at the same time. So
Everybody's kind of at the mercy of Night City. This is a situation where this is a giant shit show of a city where it's just riddled with crime. This is a giant cesspool of all types of shit happening 24/7. Like people, yeah, I know I keep cursing. People people are they're stealing, they're robbing, they're murdering. There's gang warfare in the streets. There's plenty of drugs, there's plenty of trafficking of like weapons and cyberware and things like that. There's a whole lot of shady stuff that's
oh,
happening in all corners of the city. So you could take anyone's story and tell a story about their life in this world. It's kind of like Star Wars. Like we've seen that not everything in Star Wars has to be about the Skywalker family. There are
okay,
some stories in Star Wars that exist in that world and do a great job at building that world to be even larger than it already is, but can tell its own story about its own characters. And
got
it
it,
still makes sense. And I
got it.
feel like this is a good example of that. Yes,
so
Mackie.
just to go into the opposite direction, I actually disagree that this is bad for, or that there's not enough manga out there as source material. In the month of October alone, there is a lot of anime that are coming out brand new and even returning anime that have recently just came out. I know that in the news, especially in anime news, a lot of our favorite manga have already either ended or on the verge of ending, like JJK, My Hero, Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer ended like 2022 or something like that. But you know, the animes are almost done as well. Not for JJK, but like for My Hero, Black Clover, I believe, is ending soon.
Demon Slayer is in the last arc
It
too.
is like in the last 3 to 10 movies they're about to give us. So
3 to 10 is hilarious.
a lot of our favorite anime, Fire Force, is already done. A lot of our favorite manga have finished. That being said, there are still source material like Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling season 2 is coming back this month. Shangri-La Frontier is coming back this month. Mushoku Tenshin is still out there. And these are some of like the big animes that are going on right now. There's another one. I think it's called like Wizards of
Waverly Place.
Waverly. Dang.
Wisteria, Wand, and a Sword. That's another one that's brand new. So there are a lot of anime that are coming out now. That being said, because anime has gotten so popular within the past, I want to say 5 to 7 years, we see now that America also sees, or American companies, directors, showrunners
Mm.
see that, okay, anime is another uh, anime is another format that we can now tell a story, make money from, and still have good IP for the most part. Again, everyone here knows I am personally against live action films, except live action movies, films, shows, except for One Piece, because they did it well. With that being said, things like I still think that we do need the live action shows as bad as they are. We still need the Batman anime and the video game anime, because at some point some of your favorite creators, like maybe if someone who came from like the dude who made Danny Phantom or Adventure Time,
Rich Hardman.
yeah, they can now go and make anime, and the anime may be fire. So we have to get through the nonsense first in order to see the sunshine at the end of the tunnel.
I got you. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
I'd
Anything
also
else
like to
for the
say
fellas?
I liked it so much that David Martinez was my first, like, I mean, it was barely a cosplay, but my first like time dressing up as anything at Anime NYC 2022. So
We
I
need that
kind of
picture.
I
okay.
need that flick
So,
track.
You got that yellow jacket.
We need that
yeah,
picture.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
need that. I
Thing
gotta
is,
see that.
I don't have a solo.
It don't matter.
Unfortunately,
We just need that
Sorry
fit.
sorry to cut everybody off, but we're already 30 minutes in. Final thoughts.
watch the
Final
joint.
thought is
Go watch it.
definitely watch the anime because it's one hell of a ride. And if the anime does pique your interest, check out the game. It's been on sale for a long ass time. It is a first person action adventure RPG open world. Have fun with it. Upgrade your cyberware. Jack into the Matrix while you're at it,
Jack
And,
in
be,
the Pan Am.
and become a Terminator at
and
the end
become
of
a
it.
Terminator when it's all said and done.
Jack into Pan Am. Only if you.
So guys, catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Somebody at the end will tell you what to do. Oh, you guys are still here? Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for taking your time to get it right here. If you want more, follow us on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, share. You already know what it is. If you want to just listen to us, you go to Spotify, you go to Apple Music, anywhere there's a podcast, we there. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's what we does. You know what I'm saying? Follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, our Nerdy by Nature TV. We are everywhere, bro. We are everywhere. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss out. We nerdy as hell over here, and you want to be over here with us. Trust me. You're not going to want to miss out. See ya. Thank you.